Continuing with sports. Now, Nike is a very popular brand in terms of sports apparel and gear and so forth, right? Now, caught my attention now in the article in Forbes.com wherein they created the first fully hands-free shoe. Now, obviously, hands-free shoe is not it's not new in terms of concept wherein you don't have to put any effort in terms of wearing a shoe. Now, some may say it's becoming lazy if people are, becoming more lazy if they cannot even lace up their shoe. Now, obviously, there's a small segment of a market, especially for handicapped people or amputee people that don't have the luxury of for everyone that has hands, fingers to maneuver with, which we typically take it for granted. But for those disabled or with limitations would benefit from this hands-free feature from a shoe, right? Imagine you don't have to lace a shoe, you just put in your feet or your sole or feet inside the shoe, and then it would lock automatically, and then you could do whatever activity that you decide, whether running or playing sports and so forth. Now, this has been already implemented before, but I think this is the first one that makes sense in a sense. They're calling it the first fully hands-free shoe, as mentioned. So it's making it easier or accessible for people with disability, as mentioned. So let's see here. Okay, where is it? There you go. I found it. So you can see here. So it's a regular shoe, as you notice, but there are slight nuances or differences in terms of the bistable hinge. So that's the hinge here at the end here. So rather than you have to pull it and then put your feet inside the shoe, you can put it entirely hands-free. So it will open up when you put your feet, and then by the time you plant your feet on the sole, then it would lock it at the end. So makes it easier here. So the bistable hinge, as mentioned, is the key here. So transitioning from open or ready position to closed or set position simply by stepping in and down on the footbed here. So it just goes to show, Nike is always looking for ways to improve better experience of footwear here. Now, according to Sarah Reinersten, the project designer lead, they wanted to keep on creating new and different ideas. I think it's not necessarily new, but obviously it's an important milestone that being able to simplify the shoe. I think they also created the shoe that was shown in the Back to the Future. It looks futuristic, wherein you put in your feet and then it would lock automatically and so forth. Kind of futuristic, something like that. But obviously this is more for everyday practical use here. So they mentioned that if they could create something that you didn't need hands to get in and out, obviously it could unlock those benefits for everyone, especially those who have limitation in terms of using their hands and so forth. So doing this, or a laceless upper that they call it, which features a mesh construction, includes tensioner band wrapping the outside of a shoe to help keep the foot locked in when wearers are on the go. So I'm looking forward to see this in the market. If it makes sense, is it comfortable? Is it fashionable? Obviously, at the end of the day, the aesthetics is always important, right? Apart from the application itself. So the hands-free comes as a lifestyle offering for Nike, as mentioned. So for everyday activity, even if is not meant for high performance design here, and obviously gives you more options for people who have limitations of wearing shoes rather than slip-on shoes or like Crocs, slip-on shoes and so forth. So obviously putting a hinge here is somewhat tricky, and obviously investing in research and development bears fruit here. Hopefully it would sell well for the company. So the piece of engineering that was the tricky part to figure out the hinge themselves, right? So at the end of the day, it was made of rubber stiffer than a typical outsole, stayed open and closed as needed, all without any feeling of the hinge under feet. Obviously, if it's not comfortable, you will not wear it over long periods of time, or you wear it over and over again. So using it for everyday use is a key part here. And obviously now Nike has launched it's called the Go Fly E. So it has 3 colorways and it's already been released since last month, and it's roughly around $120. So somewhat expensive, yeah, more or less in terms of Nike shoes here. So if you're interested, you can check it out their website and go purchase one online here.